We are going to get serious. Gender-based violence. It's a massive, massive global issue. It's massive here in South Africa. We're going to be talking to Ricky White. Sadly lost his sister. Let's go to Ricky White. He's the oldest brother of Kim White. And let me just paraphrase very quickly. Kim was a teacher. She landed up in Dubai. She met an American vet. They fell in love. It was whirlwind. Then they came to South Africa. They stayed here for a while. He left. She fell pregnant. And then they got married. And then things turned sour. It's a tragic ending. She was murdered by her husband. Ricky, good afternoon and welcome to the show. I'm so sorry for your loss. I heard about this yesterday, and I'm sad and I'm angry. And my condolences to you and your family.
Hi there, good afternoon, Nigel. Good afternoon to you and all the listeners. Firstly, a massive, massive thank you for just for allowing me to come on and to give, and to have the opportunity just to come and speak to you and to speak to the listeners and to also just, share a little bit about Kim's story. But I think just for us to sort of divulge and to dig a little bit deeper into the bigger problem that we have, which is gender-based violence.
Absolutely. So Ricky, just firstly, how are you and the family coping?
Well, it's been a roller coaster of emotions for the past 2 weeks. When you go through these type of things, it's always, you go through anger, sadness, loss, lots of confusion. We cannot understand why this has happened. It's just so sad that our amazing little sister had to end this way. But we need to take the opportunities to use a story and to, just to make, the gender-based violence problem that we have globally just such a focused area that we need to solve.
I gave a praise-seed version. By the way, if you've just joined us, it's 22 minutes to 6. This is Heart FM. I'm Nigel Pierce. Ricky White has joined us. He's the older brother of Kim White. Kim was murdered by her husband. They eventually landed up in the States. Would you kindly just talk the listeners through Kim's story and what you, as family members, witnessed in the build-up, and heard, by the way, in the build-up to her murder?
Yeah. So, growing up, Kim was always a very outgoing spirit, a free bird, in other words, and she loved traveling, and that's exactly what she did, She wanted to explore the world, and in doing so, she met the love of her life overseas, and, they came together, and at some point, as you mentioned earlier on, they found their way back in South Africa. They had a beautiful young son, and, we had met the guy, and I think as it goes, and I think as you mentioned in the lead up to this interview, you mentioned that, this was aimed at men. And when we met him, it would be very, you'd never tell that somebody so calm, such a nice gentleman at that point in time, would actually turn out to be the person that would end our sister's life. So, with her going overseas, everything seemed rosy. I think a lot of the tabloids and a lot of the media's already painted that picture. And as we know, things didn't turn out the way that, Kim envisioned and what she wanted for her life. And, all that she really seeked was love. And I think she was looking for that. And, it just didn't end up for her that way.
20 to 6, this is Heart FM. I'm Nigel Pierce. Ricky White has joined us. He lost his sister a couple of weeks ago, his sister being Kim White, murdered by her partner. Did you and the family, Ricky, did you see any signs? Did Kim relay any messages to you?
No, absolutely not. I think, with Kim being so far away, 14,000 kilometers away from us, obviously we stayed in close contact with her, regular conversations. But, I think not one point in time did we know that anything like this would take place. It was a complete shock to us. And I think in any marriage and in any relationship, there are problems. And I think, it's how we deal with it as partners at the end of the day. But we never expected this at all.
When and how did you receive the news, Ricky?
It was a phone call. We got a phone call via a liaison in the area that they stayed, called us, and yeah, that's how we found out. It was about a day later after she had passed away. And I think that, things had just taken its course in the area there and via the local police. And yeah, the first point of contact was her sister Arlene.
And what has happened to her husband now? Where is he?
Well, in accordance to all the stories that we heard and the news that we are getting, we don't have all the in-depth information, but we do know that he is incarcerated, he is in jail, and I believe he has been charged with second-degree murder. Is
it true that he called 911, Ricky?
Yeah, in accordance to the messages we've received, yes, he did. He called 911, and he actually called in the crime himself. And I think that is when, they took him in.
Did he furnish any reasons?
To our knowledge, absolutely none. But I think obviously as the case unfolds and as more information gets to the detectives on the ground that's investigating the case, further news will unfold, and I think we'll actually get to the reason why it actually happened.
All right.
And at this point in time, Nigel, we don't have any further information.
All right. And Ricky, tell me, their son, where is he now? Who's taking care of the boy?
He's in great care at the moment. He's with his grandparents over in the US. And yeah, we do have information that he is he's smiling and he's completely happy and completely oblivious to what's taken place. So I think, for the best interest of him, we are so happy about that part.
And are any family members going over to the States? Is Kim's body coming back?
Yes. So we are busy making some plans at the moment as we speak. We're just traversing the visa process at the moment, which, as you know, can be quite tedious and fraught with backlogs. So we're dealing with that at the moment. But yes, there will be 3 of us traveling across, including myself. And we will be bringing Kim home to South Africa.
17 minutes to 6. This is Heart FM. I'm Nigel Pierce. Ricky White's joined us. His sister was murdered by her husband a couple of weeks ago. And Ricky, just in terms of, and I don't know whether this is true, and if you don't want to shed light on it, you don't have to. But just based on the reports, what was it like growing up? As kids, did you witness anything in your own home?
Yes. I mean, look, I'll speak specifically with myself, but I think it's the perfect opportunity to be able to use my own story. I think because I grew up and I was a subject and privy to gender-based violence in my own home. I definitely was, and it's something that took place in my life, but it was only for me in my current where I currently am. It's impacted me in a positive way. Now, I know that sounds strange to say gender-based violence or abuse in your own home can positively affect you. Yes, it can, because I'm a firm believer of choice at the end of the day. So, as a man and as an adult, I suppose you get to a point where you can go through that as a kid and as a teenager, but when you become an adult, Nigel, you make a choice.
Correct.
Whether you want your upbringing and what you have gone through in your formative years to impact you negatively or positively. And I've used it to actually form the man that I am today, to not be like the person that
you saw. Yeah.
Correct.
Just in closing, Ricky, it really is a sad tale. It's a sad narrative to lose your sister in the manner in which her life ended, and she's a young boy is now left behind. Just in closing, a message for boys, for young men, for teenagers out there, or even men who are listening to the show right now, who are still smacking their girlfriends or their wives around. What message have you got for them?
Sure. I think as you so sternly put it in lead up to this interview, I think men just need to step up and they need to wake up. I think, men have a choice. We all have a choice, guys. And, in our moments of anger, I think we all go through moments of anger and whatever we go through, just take a back step and make very good choices for the rest of your life because, a single moment can end not only your life, but it can ruin the life of your loved ones, and it can ruin your future. So, yeah, think about it.
Ricky, and I just got a note here, which I was going to ask, but then I thought I wouldn't ask, but I'm going to ask it now because Michelle has asked, and maybe it's a step too fine in terms of the request for now, because maybe that's a long-term issue. Are you and the family going to ask for custody of the son?
Nigel, it really comes down to what's in the best interest for Kim's son. Whether we'll ask for custody or whether he'll stay there, I think that is part of a different process altogether. And I know you're asking that just to see where we are, but, we've always decided to approach the situation in two phases. Phase one is we want to get Kim home, we want to get her settled here, and then we'll deal with the son after that. And again, what's in the best interest for a son? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
All right. Ricky White, many, many thanks for your time. Again,
no problem.
We're so sorry for your loss. Please send our condolences to your family and your other siblings.
Thank you so much, Nigel. And thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Ricky. Look after yourself.
Keep well. Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye-bye.
082 222 1049. Many of us listening to the show right now, we've witnessed either physical, mental, psychological, emotional, or financial abuse in our homes. No home is perfect. But here's my message to you, young men out there. If you are currently witnessing violent conduct in your home, try and step away from it in your relationships, in your marriage, in your partnerships, and do not use that as an excuse. And if you need to go and seek help, there's help available to you. Violent behavior is not on in the new South Africa. We are one of the most violent cities, places, countries on planet Earth. And I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to offend one or two, but that's me. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission did not heal South Africa. Our men need to be healed on all levels. We're carrying a lot of trauma from our parents, our great-grandparents. The Group Areas Act didn't help us, and a whole host of other factors associated with a brutal subversive system called apartheid and repressive system called apartheid. You speak to any psychologist, and they will tell you it definitely had an impact on the way we function. Look at Hanover Park. Look at Mannenberg as an example. Vrygrond, Mitchell's Plain, certain parts. Young boys running around with guns. Young boys. They're boys. They're not men, they're boys. We've got work to do in South Africa, a lot of work. And gender-based violence should be right on top of your list, certainly is on mine.